Hi YouTube, I'm Kim Chamberlain and welcome to my channel. This is a channel about cross stitch and, well, mostly cross stitch, all cross stitch. Hang on, messages coming across my phone. So welcome to my channel. I'm so excited that you're here. Today is a WIP parade. This is take 2 for me. The first one, there was too much background noise with the fan and the lighting was terrible. So I had to move everything over here to this different side of the room, but I actually like this setup really well. So this might be where I film from now on. Just a few quick family things for catching up, and then we'll get right into it. Today's going to be a WIP parade and finish parade. For 2022, I had a really good year. I'm really excited for the progress that I made and what I worked on, and so I can't wait to show it to you. I can't wait to show it all to you. Alright, so a little bit of just some life updates. Nothing much has happened. We went to New York for Christmas and we celebrated Christmas with my family up there, and then we were back here for New Year's. And we all started back to work and school today. And that's about it. I went into a little bit more detail in the last take, but I don't feel like doing all of that again. So everyone's good. Everything's good. Everyone's healthy so far. Knock on this fake wood. Everybody's doing well. And if you're new here, welcome. I am called a Canal Town Stitcher, but I no longer live near a canal, so I don't feel like that's really an appropriate name for me anymore. So I'm thinking about changing the name of my channel, but I haven't done that yet. So for right now, we're just leaving things as it is. I live in Jacksonville, North Carolina. I've lived here since August. I was originally from Palmyra, New York. I have 4 kids, ages 18, 16, 14, and 12. I've been married for 23 years to my wonderful husband, TJ. And a little bit about history of my stitching is that I've been stitching since I was about 10 years old. I fell in love with the craft when my aunt was a cross stitcher. And I just loved it. And I did it okay on and off during high school, and then I took a big hiatus when I had my first baby and really only stitched every now and then. Finished a few items here and there throughout the last 18 years, and then during the pandemic I found cross stitch again and Flosstube, and the rest is history. Used to be a very monogamous stitcher, and now I have a lot of WIPs. So I don't know how many there are. We are going to count them today. Hang on just a second because I left my pad and paper over there. I'm going to go get them. But first let me explain my pajamas. Today was pajama day at school. So today was January 3rd, 2023. We had our pajama day after Christmas, which is really different. But it was nice to be cozy and comfy for school today. Back to the norm tomorrow. I teach 4th grade. I love my job. I love teaching. I love school. And so far, everything is going really well. And so, yeah, I'm sorry that that sounded so rushed, but this is my second take, so please forgive me. I'm going to go get my pad and paper, and then I'll be right back. Okay, back. So, let's start with my finishes for 2022. I think I have like 12-ish, maybe 13. Alright, let me find them all since I got them all over here in a big pile because I had to carry everything over from where I was filming before. The lighting is so much better over here, so I think it's going to be a lot better. Let's see. First up, this is Hope. It is by Little House Needleworks. I love these. I have plans to do more than this one. I don't know which one I'm going to do next. Maybe Kindness. This is on 32 count natural raw linen. You're going to notice that almost everything I stitch is on 32 count, and I love Belfast linen. So next up, this is a Christmas mouse. It's by the Tiny Modernist. I stitched this on 32 count Sahara Desert Belfast linen, and I don't know who makes this. If I think of it, I'll let you know. One thing I didn't love about this one is that it's hard to see the white on it, but it's still extremely cute. Next up, this is finish number 3. Not in order of when I finished them, but just in order of when I'm showing them to you. This is Hello Pumpkin. It's by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I started this in early 2021 and finished it in 2022. All the called for DMCs. Except I messed up on a color. Can't remember which one I messed up on. But I messed it up on the entire thing. So you won't notice. And I also have Hello Dear that I will be starting. I did that on 28 count cashel linen in the color Vintage Smoky White. Next up, this is Peace on Earth. It is by Cottage Garden Samplings. I love this. I did it in all the called for DMCs because I really felt like the silks were too expensive for me. And I did this on Smoky Pearl, Belfast Linen by Witchelt. In a second, I'm going to need to plug in my phone. Next up is a big finish. I just finished this on Thursday night last week, which was the 29th. This is Quaker Snowflakes. It is by Hello from Liz Matthews. I did it on the blue. You can do it on white or blue with different. This is all called for silk. So I did do this one in the silks. This is on 32 count Blue Azure Lugana. It was my first time stitching on 32 count. This was my New Year, New Start in 2021. And I finished it just before New Year's 2022. Almost 2 years in the making, but I'm thrilled with how it came out. It was so beautiful. I will be framing that. I think I'm going to have a finishing day this weekend. And I have a project bag now that is available for something else. Next up is Santa Sampler. This is by Country Cottage Needleworks. I stitched this on 32 count vintage, no, 32 count antique lamb's wool, Belfast linen. And I love it, love it. Came out so good. I apologize, I am not an ironer. I will iron everything when I put it in frames and finish it, but I've ironed nothing. This next up is Cozy Cardinals. This is out of the 2020 December issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine. I stitched this on 25 count, icy blue, Lugana, and all the called for DMC. This was a 2020 start that I finished this year. I finished this actually the day after Thanksgiving on Black Friday. I was just like, I'm not carrying that into another year. And I didn't. So, next up is a partial finish. This is an Advent Animal finish. This is Peter Polar Bear. I call it a partial finish because I still have 24 more to go. I do have a couple of other ones that I will show you in the WIP parade, but Peter Polar Bear is adorable and I love him and he's done. Next up, I have 2 dimensions ornaments that are finished but not fully finished. I'll be fully finishing them this weekend and sending them in the mail. So this one is Dimensions Kit. I got these off of 123 Stitch. They were on sale and they were crazy cheap. Or no, everything cross stitch. I think I spent like $6 on each one. So here is my finish for that one. French knots, guys. I'm learning to love them. Well, I'm learning to do them. I don't know about love, but I am becoming successful at them. And then the next one is for my niece. This is called Santa with a Bag. Dimensions Kit. The other one was called Tree Ornament. And here is my finish for him. So all I have to do is cut them out and hang the cords on them, and then they're good to go. I really enjoyed doing these, and I feel like they came out really, really, really well. So that is, oh, that's not my last one. Hang on. I have this one in here. This is by Cherry Hill Stitchery. It is called Lucky. What is it called? It's just called Lucky. Yep. I realized I had no St. Patrick's Day stitching, and we celebrate it every year. So this is Lucky. This is done on a piece of 28 count white Monaco that I bought from Michael's. I changed the DMCs, the greens. So I did this one, the dark green is DMC 700, and the lighter green is DMC 704. So I just liked those greens better. Alright, there's that. And then this one over here is a partial finish and it is part of the Frosty Forest, and it is the Snowy Deer. And I finished this in January. I started it and finished this in January. It was on, it is on a piece of 16 count French gray Ada. All the called for DMCs and overdyes. I'm doing all the called for threads with these. And I'll get to that other one when we get to the WIPs. So that's all my finishes. Okay. So let's count the finishes I had for this year. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, that's it, 11 finishes. All right. Okay, so that's all for the finishes. When I come back, it will be time for the WIPs. So I'll see you in a bit. and back. I'm just fixing there. I hope that's right, not tilted. All right, so now let's get into the WIPs for what I have left for the end of the year. So I'm just gonna get started. I have WIPs on both sides of me. I don't know how many there are. We're gonna count them while we go, like I did last year, and we'll try to figure out how many I have, and we'll go from there. All right, so the first one I'm gonna show you is my Fox Forest. This is from Owl Forest Embroidery. I fell in love with this. I love foxes. I don't know if it's super clear. Anyways, obviously I bought the kit. So it came with everything, including the needle minder. And I'm stitching it with all the called for, all the everythings. And I love it. Not sure where my needle is right now. It's somewhere in the box. It's on 32 count. And it's their fabric. I don't know the color, but it's like this green color. Anyways, here is where I am. So I am almost done with this. Well, I'd say I have a good amount of it done. And this will definitely go on my WIP Go board. And I hope to finish it this year. Isn't it beautiful? I love this chart. I have a couple of other Owl Forest embroidery charts that I want to start. But I don't want to start them until this one is done. So that is WIP number 1. And I'm just going to write these down as we go. This was a 2022 start, and that was a new start for 2022. All right, next up, this is the December Truckin' Along. It is by Stitching with the Housewives. Looks like this. This is the only month or Trunking Along that I have purchased from them. I love this pattern. Stitching this on 32 count charcoal. This is on linen, and I'm stitching it all together on one piece. And this is where I am on this one. It's going pretty well. This was a 2021 start. So December, truck along, this was 2021 start. Where was I putting these? Where did I put both those? So I put it over here. Okay, next up is Who Moved the Cheese? This is by, it's a chart I got on Etsy. Oh no, it's Fold In the Cheese, not Who Moved the Cheese, just Fold It In. This is from Schitt's Creek. I don't have the cover photo. It's in my book. Anyways, I have a lot of this done. It's for my husband. It's on 28 count white Monaco with all the called for DMCs, except for I changed the blue to this gray. So I liked it better. This would really only take me about an afternoon to work on, like finish, if I just worked on it. This is a 2021 start. Okay, next up is International Santas. This came from a Better Homes and Gardens cross stitch magazine, and it's the 2000, December 2000. I will edit in a picture of the final result over there, and this is where I am on this 32 count platinum, I think. This is Lugana. Really love how this is coming out. I didn't get a chance to work on this in 2022 because it was called on WIP Go when I moved, and I didn't work on any WIP Go's during the summer. This was also a 2021 start. So hopefully I can get some work on this in 2023. I do want to finish that. Next up, it's Snow Time, Cottage Garden Samplings. This is the first of the A Time for All Seasons series that I started. I did get this whole year except for the last two charts. This was a 2022 start. I started this in August. This is on a piece of 32 count platinum Lugana, and this is where I am. It's coming out good. This I think might also land on WIP Go. I have not finished my WIP Go board yet. I know January numbers have been called, so I will get right on that. Probably as soon as I get done with my WIP parade and get this posted, I'll be able to focus on WIP Go, I think. Oops, Snow Time. As a 2022 start. Okay, next up is embarrassingly enough, Afternoon in New York. This is a project by Country Cottage Needleworks that I'm stitching for my daughter Grace. She already has the Afternoon in Paris. This is a 2021 start, and it's on 25 count Vintage Stormy Night with most of the DMCs and some of the called for country or oh my gosh, Classic Colorworks. So I have a lot of this done, so I don't have much to do. So if I just sit down, obviously, and just work on this. So this is going on WIP Go for sure, so I can get this done. Like I said, my focus, I haven't said it in this video, but my focus this year is to focus on my 2021 starts and get as many of those done as I can. Next up is the star characters for my son. This is on a piece of 28 count Legacy by Picture This Plus. It's 4 Star Wars characters that he asked for, and I have so far Chewie and Luke Skywalker is pretty much done, and then the other 2 that he wanted on this are going to be I think easier to stitch. The Chewie was the hardest one because it was so confetti heavy. So here's the back. It's like terrible. It was so confetti. I don't really like this project that much, so that's why it's been hard for me to get back to it. But I promised my son I would work on it, so that means I have to, right? This was also a 2021 start. Okay, next up is Truck Snow Globe, Shannon Christine Designs. I'm stitching this on a piece of 25 count gray Vintage Stormy Night. Vintage Stormy Night Lugana. And here it is so far. I had to restart a lot of this. I frogged all of this, like just before Christmas I was working on this. And I frogged all of this because it was all wrong. And restitched it with the cry neck and everything. It was kind of a pain in the butt. But I think it'll go faster now. This has a lot of beads. Ooh. And I don't know how to bead. So we're going to have to do that. Figure that out. So this was a 2020 start. I think that's my last 2020 start too. Right, next up is Countdown to Christmas by Country Cottage Needleworks. Let me find the right cover page here. Here it is. Super cute. I worked on this some before Christmas. This was a 2021 Mania start. And it is on a piece of 32 count lamb's wool Jobelin, not antique lamb's wool, but not Jobelin. It's 32 count, it actually tells me right here, antique lamb's wool Belfast linen. So it's going really well. Very happy so far with this. This will be this will be a, probably a WIP Go project. Because these projects that are going into the 2 and 3 year, not cool. Alright, next up is Fa La La. This is, Fa La La. It's by Madame Chantilly. This was a restart for me. I restarted it in 2022. So I'm going to write restart 2022. And restart 2022. And now it's on a piece of 32 count Whisper Belfast linen. And I like it much better. They always look so small when they're on the thing, and then when you go to start stitching them, there's a lot of stitching. Okay. Last in this bag is Away We Ride. And guess what? I was at Hobby House Needleworks, and I was going to get the rest of the floss for this, and I forgot all about it. Anyways, I have to get the floss for this. This is going on a piece of 32 count natural raw Belfast linen. And I had to change these colors, so the brownish color is grapevine and the darker color is charcoal, both by Weeks Dye Works. But it's coming out really good anyway. I love it. It's going to be awesome. This is definitely a WIP Go project, for sure. Okay. That was a 2022 start. Alright, so that's all from that bag. Okay. So let's go to this bag. And we have Frosty Forest. I showed you the snowy reindeer that I already did. I'm working on the middle, which is the Frosty Forest. I do not have the bead, so I'm doing it without. And here it is. This is actually a 2023 start because I started this, or actually it is a 2022 start because I started it on New Year's Eve, and I'll probably be done with it tomorrow. So this was a 2021 start together. Oh, good Lord. It's like folding a map. Getting it to fold right. Oh, I don't remember how I had it folded. Must be like this. Okay. Alright. Next up is there's two little mice in here. I think. Yes. So the first one I'll show you is this little elf mouse. This is out of the World of Cross Stitch magazine. I love these little mice. This one has a really, really big start, guys. Look at that. So elf mouse is a 2022 start. And then we also have, oops, I forgot to put the chart for folding the cheese. The Pilgrim Mouse. He's really cute. He was also a 2022 start. And that is what I have done on him. So a little bit more. I don't use these needles anymore. Oh no, this is the needle that I use actually. These live in a very fancy little project bag that used to hold something else. Alright. Next up is another 2022 start. This is something I need my iPad for, so I'll be right back. It was pajama day. So I've had these pajamas on all day. I'm actually not going to wear them to bed, I don't think. Oh, goodness. It's getting warm in here, too. So I use GoodNotes on my iPad. And so that's what I'm trying to get to right now. For all of my digital patterns. So this one is by Little Dove Designs. It's called All Hallows Eve. And that's what it's going to look like when it's done. So cute. And this is still in the hoop because I really love working on it, is where I am now. I don't know why, but I have such an itch to work on Halloween stuff all the time. This is on a piece of 32 count Belfast linen in the color Alchemy by Picture This Plus. and it's adorable. And I love it. So that one is All Hallows Eve. And that was a 2022 start. Halloween of 2022, actually. Okay, and this bag I have, it's the most wonderful feast of the year. I really wanted to work on this a lot more than I did for Thanksgiving. This is by Sue Hillis Designs. This is a 2021 start that I had to restart twice before. And this is where I am. I need to get some back stitching in on this because I think it'll start looking a lot better. This is on a piece of 18 count Time by Picture This Plus. Okay, I got it from. Next up is a piece I'm going to restart. This was a 2021 start. It's Autumn by Country Cottage Needleworks. Autumn. And I'm going to start this again. It'll be the third time that I start this, but I'll show you why I'm going to restart it in a second. I'm going to pull it out. So I'm trying to do this on, I don't know if this is a 32 count. Anyways, it was a piece of scrap linen that I got from Hobby House Needleworks. And it's not going to fit. And I changed the colors and I don't like them anymore. So I have to go through and pick out the right fabric for this and change out the colors, and then I will restart it. So that is Autumn. Oh, I have that. I don't know why sometimes we think we know better than the designer, and then when we make the changes and it comes out terrible, you're like, oh, guess I don't know better than the designer. Next up is Halloween Quaker. This is by Leela's Studio. Everybody's stitching this. So there's that. I worked on this a lot this year. I had big goals to get like something like 20 motifs done. I got to 12. I was pretty happy with that just this year. So this was a 2021 start. This is definitely on WIP Go. I'm stitching this on 32 count Murphy by Picture This Plus with all of the called for colors and over dyes. And that is where I am. I am loving this. It's so great. I would like to finish this year if I could. If I can. That's a lofty goal, but I really would love to have this framed by Halloween. Okay, next up is a, I don't know what this is right now. I'll find it. Alright, next up, this is the stocking that I am stitching for my husband. I have not gotten any further on this than I had the last time I showed it. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. I have one for me too, but I haven't started that yet. So the question was, is it going to fit on this piece of, this is a fat half of potato, 25 count. And I don't know. I didn't want to get too far on it and find out that it wasn't going to fit. So that's kind of where I am on that. I kind of wanted him to have a bigger stocking. Because I know I'm going to have to sew in some of the sides. This is a tough one. I might switch this down to a 28 count instead of a 25 count. We shall see. So I'm just going to put stocking. And that was a 2022 start. Okay. Alright, next up is my only Heaven and Earth design. I restarted this over Christmas. It is called Heaven and Nature Sing. This is the mini. It's by Donna Gelsinger. This is what it looks like. I switched from a 25 count 1/1 to 18 count 2/1. I am using the parking method, and this is where I am. So I have a little over 500 stitches done. I don't know how much percentage that is because I use GoodNotes. I don't have Pattern Keeper, but I'm pretty happy with this. And I could not put it down while I was working on it. I just had that goal to get that number of stitches in, and so I'm using kind of what Gemma Stitches does with her diagonal. It's taking me a little bit of time because this is my first one to get it right, but I think it's coming out good. I don't want to do too much traveling in the back because I don't want it to be too bulky, so I'm trying to be careful of that too. Oh my goodness, I forgot some finishes. Guys. I have some more finishes in here. Alright, this one and this one I finished in 2021, but this one I finished in 2022. I just finished it. So this is the Mythical Creatures by Darling and Whimsy Design, the Quirky Quakers. The unicorn I finished over, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago. I have to fully finish it. So that makes 12 finishes for the year. And I also finished this angel. I'm not sure if I finished this in 2021 or not, but I'll show it to you. This came out of the 2020. Oh no, I did finish this in 2022. This came out of the 2022. Or the 2020, I can't remember. 2021 ornament issue for Just Cross Stitch. This was by the Tiny Modernist. I loved it. I've stitched it for my niece, and I need to fully finish it, and it needs to be ironed. So, I'm not sure if that was a finish from last year or the year before. I cannot remember. Anyways, 12 finishes is good. Alright. All of the WIPs on this side are done. Now we have my other niece's Dimensions ornament. It's Sew Man with Sweets ornament. And here is my progress so far on that. I feel like this is going very well. I do like these ornaments very much. So I'm just going to put Maddie ornament. And this was a 2022 start. And it will be done in the next month or so. Less than a month, because I want to mail them all at once. Okay. Next up is We Folk Welcome by Cherry Hill Stitchery. This is a terrible printout from my terrible printer. I started this in March of last year. This is a 2022 start. And this is where I am on that. And this is on the 28 count Monaco with the same with that Lucky. Just using up some scrap fabric I had. And so there's where that one is. Alright, next up, I don't have a picture, I don't have the cover picture of this, but this is the March sampler from Country Cottage Needleworks. And guys, I'm going to show you how much I have left to do on this. I literally have the rest of this like vine and 2 flowers and then just the French knots for their eyes. And then this will be done. I was actually working on this yesterday because I want to get this done. So this is the March sampler 2022. Alright, next up is, I can show my Brooks Books animals. So we have Katie Kitty and Mary Mouse. So here is Mary Mouse. And this is what I have done so far. It's a good start. These are definitely on my WIP board. And then the other one I have is Katie Kitty, and I just need to find her. I don't know if she's in here or not. Well, I'm just going to show her because she's almost done. So there's Katie Kitty, and all I have left to do on her is just a little bit of back stitch. And then she'll be done. So that's Mary Mouse. Was a 2022 start, and Katie Kitty was a 2021 start. And then I finished Peter Polar Bear this year. I had really wanted to get back to that one too, and I didn't. All right. So I got those. All right. Next up. In this project bag are my Prairie Schooler Santas. I'm doing one for each one of my kids' birth years. And I started this in 2022. So I am doing this one right here, which is the 2004 for my oldest son, Ethan. So he was born December 4th, 2004, just turned 18. I did work on this quite a bit, and this is where I am now. So I think that this will be an easy finish. These will probably be on my WIP board. Because I have one for every one of my kids, and I really need to get going on them. Okay. Let's put this over here. Next up is Merry Friends, Santa 2003 by Lizzie Kate. This was a Christmas gift from my son. Not this year, but the year before. I started this just before Christmas. And I was on the phone with my dad one day. And this is where I got to. Oops. Let me try to put everything back in here the way it was so that I'm not losing my mind and trying to find everything when times comes. Okay. Next up. Oh, here's the project for this bag. This is pumpkin spice and everything nice. This is from the Just Cross Stitch Halloween edition. Looks like this. I'm not happy with this. I hate the back stitch on it, but this is where I am so far. It's on 32 count limestone Lugana. It's okay. I'm gonna finish it, and turn it into a little pillow. That was a 2021 start. I couldn't wait to start that. I wanted to start that so bad. Alright, this is Pumpkin on, or Blackbirds on a Pumpkin. It is by Rosewood Manor. It was out of the 2021 Halloween Just Cross Stitch magazine. I don't have a cover for it because I'm not sure. Oh, here it is. There's the cover. And then I realized I've been, excuse me, using the wrong color the entire time for one of the colors. But you know what? I love it. It's so much more bright, vibrant with this color. And I cannot believe how warm it is in my house right now. It was 72 degrees today in Richlands, and it is like 76 up here. This was a 2021 start. It is on Vintage Country Mocha in 32 count, and it is Lugana, and it is so pretty. And when I show this after I work on it again, I'll put the color conversion up for you so that you know what colors I chose, because I accidentally used the wrong color for this entire thing, and it's been coming out so pretty. You would never know I was using the wrong color the whole time, but I was. Alright, next up is one of my own designs. It is my Halloween sampler. Now, I'm going to show you this picture, and it's really bad. This is not how it's supposed to look, but it's because my printer wasn't printing any different colors. It says dark and spooky, moonless night, goblins, ghosts and goblins rise to fright as the wind blows through the trees. 'Tis the night of Halloween. So I designed this myself. It is on my Etsy store, which is Canaltown Stitcher. You can get it in PDF, or you can get it in in a print form. I'll print them and mail them. So here it is. So again, this is something I designed myself, and all of the poem is my own. I came up with it myself. And this is on a piece of 32 count Jobelin. And I can't remember the color. But I have a lot of it, which is good because I'm always looking for grays. Always looking for gray. I think I'll finish this. I think this will be it on WIP Go. I think I just dropped the needle. I totally did. Where did it go? God. One of my biggest fears is that the dog is going to find it before I do. I don't know where it went. Completely fell out. Kim, you silly thing. I'll find it. It's probably on the floor. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna step on it probably. Alright, so this is this was a 2021 start because that's when I designed it. Next up is First Signs of Spring. Oh, this is the Time for All Seasons series, and I guess I have started one of them. I love the robins. I love the basket on this one and the lily of the valley. My grandmother was named Lily. Reminds me of spring. I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count Lugana. I think it's limestone. I haven't worked on this in over a year. It was called for WIP Go this year, but because I moved, it was called during my move month. My moving months, I should say. But I didn't really have time to do any stitching. And this is the 2021 start. Okay. Next up is a stitching with the Housewives. Gobble. What's in my cup? This was a 2021 start. And that's where I got to. Again, my focus this year, if I haven't said it yet, is to finish some things that I started in 2020 and 2021 to get them off out of my WIP boxes and finished. Okay, what started that? Next up is Teresa Kogut, Land That I Love. I started this in January. It was called in the first round of WIP Go. But I had to pull it out and restart it. But because I didn't give myself enough margin. Look at how beautiful this is, guys. I do love this. I do want to get back to this. I'm stitching this on 32 count natural raw linen. Custom piece was cut for me by Hobby House Needleworks. Okay, next up is Stitchy Stars by Lori Holt. That quarter shop. I started this in 2022. We were in Charleston for vacation over spring break, and I am this far. And I am doing I'm doing 3 across and 3 down, or I'm doing 3 over 3. So I'm doing 6, but it'll go this way instead of one long strip. And I had bought the floss pack for that, so I'm using all the called for DMCs. This is Stitchy Stars. This was a 2022 start. Okay, next up is my Paula Vaughn's Bride Prayer. I had started this in 1999, 2000. I got married in 2000, so that's when I had started this. And I am doing a restart. And actually, this isn't even a WIP yet, because I haven't even restarted it yet. So, I have the fabric to restart it. I can show you what I had done. You're going to be like, why are you restarting it? And I'll tell you why. Because I made a mistake somewhere in it, and I don't know where the mistake is. And this is 22 count hardanger. And it's really hard to stitch it 2 over 1, which is what I was doing. And like I said, I have no idea where the mistake is in this. But I remember it being wrong. And this is me as a monogamous stitcher. You can see how neat and tidy I was. That's the back, guys. I'm not as neat and tidy as I used to be. This doesn't look bad, but it's definitely not as meticulous as when you're doing one project at a time. Oh, this one I worked on a lot over the summer. So it was only one of like 4 projects that I had with me. This is a Patriotic Picnic. It's out of the July 2000 Keepsakes Better Homes and Gardens calendar. Started this in 2000 and actually 2020, on New Year's Eve 2020 I started this. And I got a lot of this done over the summer. It's a very late 90s pattern, but I still love it. So a lot of that is done. Next up is Long May She Wave. I'm stitching with the Housewives. I also worked on this quite a bit this summer because this was one of only 3 projects I had with me. Because we didn't get, all of my stuff was on the pods by the end of May, and we didn't get them back until August. So, I only have a few projects with me. This is on 32 count charcoal Lugana. I didn't give myself a lot of space for margin, but it is beautiful. I love this and how it's coming out. And I'm stitching this in all the called for DMCs, so none of this is fancy floss. We're getting there, guys. Getting there. This was a 2021 start. Right, next up is Silver Creek Samplers. This is my wedding sampler. Lighting the way, always be the lighthouse, shine your beacon bright, guide every soul adrift at sea throughout their darkest night. And that speaks to me because my husband and I have had some dark nights. But we are always the light in each other's lives. And I don't know what I would do or where I would be without him. He is an amazing husband, father, and I'm so proud to be his wife. And this is where I am on this. So close to just getting to the words. This is a beautiful easy stitch. I'm stitching it on 32 count vintage Stormy Night, Belfast linen by Picture This Plus, and it will definitely be done this year. This was a 2022 start. I started it and I couldn't put it down for like a month in February, and then I had to work on it again because it was called for WIP Go, and I just, again, could not put it down. Next up is another Lori Holt pattern. This is Flea Market Flowers. Love this, love this, love this. Okay. And this, just make sure I have it right side up. I'm doing it on all the called for fabric and everything, and that is where I am. Oh, actually, a little more. That's where I am. This will definitely be on WIP Go. This is going into my future craft room, which is when one of my kids move out. I had a craft room at my other house, but then we decided to up and move. That's okay though. I do have plenty of space in this room, so I have a big walk-in closet, which is where I keep all of my stuff. Okay. Next up is Fruits of Honey. This is Modern Folk Embroideries 2021 Stitch Along. I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count antique white with the colors 644 and 932. And this is where I am on it. It's so lovely. I love this too. I should just work on it. It's definitely on WIP Go. This was called first in WIP Go last year. So that was all the work I had gotten done on it in the month of January last year. That was the 2022 start. Flea Market Flowers was the 2021 start. Oh, oops. I'm going to lose it. Okay. Next up is Potion Brews and Spells. I don't know where the cover page is to this. Right here. This came out of the 2016 Halloween cross stitch edition. I'm stitching this on 32 count Plum by Fiber on a Whim with the color 37.99. That was a 2022 start. Okay. Next up is Hocus Pocus. I Need Coffee to Focus. This is also the 2021 Just Cross Stitch Halloween edition. And that is what it looks like. The cobwebs are a real pain in the tush. Pertuckus. But it's still cute. I still like it. So I'm still going to finish it. Hocus Pocus. There's a 2021 start. Next up is Tonight is Halloween. This is by Kathy Barrick. Upside down. I realized I didn't give myself a ton of margin on this either. Oopsies. I'll figure it out. This is on a piece of 32 count Whisper by Zweigert. And that is what I have done so far. Again, this is a very easy stitch. It's kind of hard to see the ghost on camera, but you can see it in real life. So, it's really cute. I love it. I can't remember where I saw this, where I fell in love with it. It was on somebody's Flosstube. I can't remember which one. And I was like, oh, I love that. I have a big mess to clean up tomorrow. Not tonight, because it is 10:30. And I have 5:30 to get up in the morning. Alright, next up is something that I love, but I did not get to work on this year. This is called Scandinavian Forest. It's by Monica Bleason, and you can find it on Etsy. And I am doing it in these colors. And on 18 count oatmeal Ada that I just got at Michael's, 1/1. That's how I'm doing this. Just pull the needle through this. And this is where this piece is in bad shape. Fold it up nicely. It was folded up so nice, and then I moved. Alright, so that's where I am. This is going on WIP Go. I love this piece. And I want it to hang it in my classroom. I want to hang this in my classroom. That was the 2021 start. That was a Mania start, actually. Alright. Next up is Quaker. I have this one already here in Good Notes that I can show you. Pretty sure. Yep. This is by Stitching Spell. I am not doing it in these colors. I am doing it in I'm doing it on a piece of Silvery Moon 32 count Lugana, and I'm using the colors 648, 353, and 844, and this is where I am so far. I'd like to get back to this too, because I love it. And I think it goes like this. Where does it go? Oh my goodness, how does this go? It goes like this. It does go like this. And this was a 2021 start as well. Alright, I have two projects that I'm going to UFO. I'm not going to go over what they are right now. I have a project that I had started that was, I didn't like, and I didn't like it last year, and I said if I didn't work on it all year, I probably wasn't going to finish it, and that's the one, I'm not going to finish that. Oh, oops, I forgot one. This is Let's Talk Winter by Hands On Design. I am going to finish this, so I like it. I already did Let's Talk Autumn. I'm stitching this on blue. I don't think I changed any of the colors this time. I did change colors on the last one, but not on this one. Okay. Alright, Let's Talk Winter. Alright, so now we are at 1 hour, and I feel like I did good. Alright. Oh, I'll put this away later. Good Lord. Alright, so let's count. That's all my WIPs. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Guys, I have 10 more WIPs than I had last year. I had 35 WIPs at the end of 2022. I have 45 this year. Alright, so let's talk. I had 35 WIPs in 2022. I had 13 finishes. So 35 minus 13 is 22. And then I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 starts this year. How did I start so many things when I moved? It does not seem right. So I had 21 new starts in 2022. I had 13 finishes in 2022. 35 WIPs to start, and 45 total now. Alright, so here's the goal. The goal is to finish at least 25 projects this year. I'm going to finish 25, okay? I can't start anything new until a project is done. That's just all there is to it. No starts unless a finish happens. My mania this year is going to be a WIP mania, and the goal is to finish things. Yes, finish things. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 items that are carried over from 2021. And, well, 2 from 2020 and 22 from 2021. So let's get the 2 from 2020 done, and then let's focus on getting those 22 2 other ones done. So that will be my pretty much my goal. Obviously, I'll be working on other things too throughout the year, but my goal is to finish anything that I started in 2020 and 2021. My goal is to finish those. I think that's a good goal. I pulled this out of something and I don't know what. I'm going to be sorry. 543. 543. I don't know what bag you came out of. I'm tired. It's been a long day. This is a lot. It's a lot more than I thought it was. But that's okay. I'm not stressed. I have loved every single one of these projects and will continue to love them, and I will continue to work on them, trudging along. I hope you enjoyed this WIP parade. I will be back in a few days with my WIP Go board and my goals for WIP Go, and I hope that you all have a great night. I hope that you were stitching on something wonderful while you were watching me go through all of these WIPs so quickly. 45 is a huge number, and we're going to get that down this year. We're going to work on it. We're going to whittle away at it. I hope you all have a great night, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.